A past eternal universe had to cross a past time infinity to get to the present moment. That is logically impossible. Many atheists argue for a past eternal universe, a universe that stretches infinitely into the past with no definitive beginning. However, careful analysis reveals that the concept of a past eternal universe is impossible. Here, we will explore why it is logically impossible for a past eternal universe to exist by demonstrating that it would require crossing an actual infinite amount of past time, which is impossible in the realm of reality. 1. The nature of infinity. Understanding actual and potential infinities. To grasp why a past time infinity cannot be crossed, it is essential to first understand the concept of infinity itself. In mathematics and philosophy, there are two types of infinities: potential infinity and actual infinity. A. Potential infinity. A potential infinity refers to a process that can continue indefinitely without reaching an end. For example, you can keep counting numbers without ever reaching a final number, but at any given point in the process, you have only counted a finite number of numbers. The process is potentially infinite because it can always continue, but it never actually completes an infinite sequence. Potential infinities are conceptually useful and are often applied in mathematics and various models of physical processes, such as the growth of populations or the expansion of the universe. However, potential infinities never manifest as completed infinities in the real world. B. Actual infinity. An actual infinity, by contrast, refers to a completed infinite set or series. In this case, all parts of the infinite sequence exist simultaneously. For example, an actual infinite set of numbers would contain every possible number from negative infinity to positive infinity all at once. Unlike potential infinities, actual infinities are more controversial, especially when applied to the real, physical world. Philosophers like Aristotle and modern thinkers such as David Hilbert have argued that while actual infinities may exist abstractly in mathematics, they cannot exist in the real, physical universe. The reason is that an actual infinity leads to logical paradoxes and contradictions when applied to real-world events, such as time. 2. The paradox of traversing an infinite past. The concept of a past eternal universe posits that the universe has existed for an infinite amount of time into the past. In other words, if the universe is past eternal, then there is no beginning point in time. However, this notion introduces a profound paradox. To arrive at the present moment, an infinite sequence of past moments would need to be traversed. A. The impossibility of traversing an actual infinite. For a universe that has existed eternally in the past to reach the present moment, it would have to cross an actual infinite series of past events. However, it is logically impossible to traverse an actual infinite. This is because no matter how much time has passed, there would always be an infinite number of moments still remaining to be crossed before arriving at the present. Consider this analogy. Suppose you are tasked with counting down from infinity. You are currently at an infinitely distant point in the past, and you need to count down moment by moment to reach today. No matter how much time you spend counting, you can never reach zero because an infinite series has no end. In the same way, if the universe had an infinite past, we would never reach the present moment because an infinite sequence of events cannot be completed. B. The infinite hotel paradox. The famous Hilbert's hotel paradox, proposed by mathematician David Hilbert, illustrates the absurdity of actual infinities. Imagine a hotel with an infinite number of rooms, all of which are occupied. Now, if a new guest arrives, the hotel manager can ask each guest to move from room NNN to room N plus 1N plus 1N plus 1, thus freeing up room 1 for the new guest. This process can be repeated infinitely, meaning the hotel is always full, yet there is always room for one more guest. This paradox demonstrates that actual infinities lead to absurdities and contradictions when applied to reality. Similarly, the idea of an infinite past creates the paradox that an infinite sequence of events must be crossed to arrive at the present, a task that is logically impossible. 3. The problem of successive addition, reaching the present from a past infinity. Another way to understand the impossibility of traversing a past time infinity is through the concept of successive addition. If the universe is past eternal, then time is like a series of moments added one after another in succession, stretching infinitely into the past. However, for the present moment to occur, all prior moments must have been added up to this point. The problem is that adding one moment after another from an infinite past cannot lead to the present moment, because an infinite series cannot be completed through successive addition. You cannot build the present moment one step at a time if the steps stretch infinitely into the past. No matter how many moments you add, there will always be infinitely more moments that still need to be added before you reach the present. Thus, a past eternal universe would never be able to reach the present moment, because an infinite sequence of moments cannot be traversed one by one. 4. Philosophical support for a finite beginning of the universe. Because traversing an infinite past is logically impossible, many philosophers and theologians, both historically and in the present day, have argued that the universe must have had a finite beginning. This idea aligns with the Kalam cosmological argument, which is a powerful philosophical and theological argument for the beginning of the universe. The argument can be summarized as follows. A. Everything that begins to exist has a cause. B. The universe began to exist. C. Therefore, the universe has a cause. The second premise, that the universe began to exist, is supported not only by the logical impossibility of a past infinite universe but also by scientific evidence, such as the Big Bang theory. The Big Bang suggests that the universe had a definite starting point, what physicists refer to as a singularity. This starting point implies a finite beginning of time, space, and matter, further discrediting the idea of a past eternal universe. 5. Scientific support for a finite beginning. Modern cosmology provides further evidence that the universe had a beginning. The Big Bang theory, widely accepted by the scientific community, posits that the universe expanded from an extremely hot and dense state approximately 13.8 billion years ago. This implies a temporal boundary to the universe. There was a time when the universe did not exist, and then it began to exist. While some cosmologists have proposed models of a past eternal universe, such as certain interpretations of quantum cosmology or multiverse theories, these models face their own theoretical difficulties and rely on speculative assumptions. Moreover, many of these models still cannot escape the philosophical problem of traversing an infinite past. The Big Bang theory, on the other hand, provides a scientifically supported and philosophically coherent explanation of the universe's origin. 6. Conclusion. A past eternal universe is logically impossible. The idea of a past eternal universe, one that stretches infinitely into the past, faces insurmountable logical difficulties. To arrive at the present moment, the universe would have to traverse an infinite sequence of past moments, which is logically impossible. No matter how much time passes, an actual infinite cannot be completed, whether in space, quantity, or time. Philosophical reasoning, supported by the Kalam cosmological argument and modern scientific evidence, strongly suggests that the universe had a finite beginning. A past eternal universe is not only conceptually problematic but also contradicts what we know from both logic and empirical observation. The conclusion is clear. The universe had a beginning, and that beginning points to the necessity of a cause beyond time and space. For Christians, this points directly to the existence of God, the Creator who brought time, space, and matter into existence. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.